All right, everybody, good morning. October 2, 2023. Guess what? I have the heater on. I turned it on last night too. I think sometime last week was the first day I turned on the heater. I think I'm gonna put a t-shirt on too. I put on the tank top. I don't really need to put anything on, I guess, but I'm a little cold. The heater is on right now too. Alright. Kind of get a little warmed up here. Do I need to put on my sweater too? Dang. This house is cold. um, so as I'm putting on a couple layers here, which is rare to myself, but it's becoming a thing. Ever since last winter, I think, the winter that never ended, I've gotten a little more accustomed to not wearing shorts all the time and actually wearing sweaters. And I think for that reason, I've become cold more easily. I can't guarantee like 100% that that's what's going on, but that's exactly what it feels like, is that I now get cold more easily because I use sweaters, and on occasion I'll wear sweatpants, or stay under blankets and things. And I think that uh, that makes me just cold all the time. Because ever since I started doing it, I noticed I'm cold a lot more often. Uh, I don't know. Um, I slept weird. Uh, I had a weird weekend. Um, like I've been tracking my energy, and I mean I've got some good news with it, but just weird experiences, but good news. Um, like most of last week, I didn't really do any delivering. Kind of had a foggy week a little bit, but um, things were pretty good as far as going to that concert last weekend. So that really helped a lot. And then coming back on Monday, I don't remember if I was busy at all on Monday, but the week before the concert, I kind of had that week kind of free because I noticed my energy kind of tanked the week before. That's when I started noticing myself being sleepy, being able to sleep longer than usual, not waking up early and having my coffee at like 5:30, 6:30 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Completely avoiding doing that. And, I tried it for a week. I didn't like it. It wasn't a very creative time. I didn't have my morning to myself. I didn't feel like I could just like wake up and start, getting all this podcasting and stuff done. It took me quite a while in the mornings, to kind of get going. And then I was eating meals late. And as much as maybe I felt like I slept more, I don't know if I felt more rested, in all honesty. I felt pretty much the same. My brain still got foggy when it was foggy, things like that. So I don't really think it actually helped. I don't know if I was hydrating properly. and I was eating dinner later because I was eating breakfast later. My lunches I still tried to keep kind of on time. I don't know, maybe a little late, around like 1 or 2 p.m. But it was a struggle a little bit, just trying to figure out like why the heck is my energy being weird like that. Um, but I don't think. Let me see. I write down when I go. I write down when I go to the gym. So let me see if I wrote down anything about going to the gym that week. Nah. So between Sunday, September 17th, and Friday, September 22nd, I didn't write down anything about the gym. Not in my book here. But the Saturday and Friday before I did go to the gym. Um, so yeah, it was just a slow week that week. But that week, I guess the week before that, um, no, that 17, 14. I guess my weigh in on the 14th and my weigh in on August 31st. Those were kind of some of my lowest weigh-ins, but my weigh-in on this on September 7th, and I think the one I just did, no, the one I just did on the 27th was good. It was the lowest so far this year. Um, so as far as the weight is concerned, I am improving on that, so that's nice to experience. Um, so, but I'm clearly not going to the gym that much or getting that much exercise. It's mostly just the eating choices I've been making, and it hasn't been that long that I've been eating relatively healthier, being a little more conscious about it. It's not every meal every day, but I've really cut down the snacking because we have boxes of chips and cookies in this house, and so I've cut down a lot of the snacking, and just when I'm reaching for snacks, it's like whole grain crackers and fruit and stuff like that. I had a couple days where I did that instead of, reaching for the chips and the cookies and the Cheetos and all that. Um, and it's just I just feel better about those choices. Um, and so I guess bringing things up to date as far as this weekend and yesterday, how I'm feeling today after yesterday. Um, Yesterday I did notice, myself having a pretty negative mindset. Now it gets good, it gets better. It's not just going to be me talking about all the negativity, but you know, I I can't even think of what exactly I was thinking about. Like there were specific people I was kind of thinking about, things I was kind of irritated about with them. Kind of like um, having a hard time finding anything really positive, and just kind of like in my head, I wasn't like outwardly doing anything about it. I don't think I really ever do anything outwardly, but kind of thinking about past scenarios where, I either felt wronged or just kind of maybe somebody wasn't too polite about something or was a little like, I didn't really like the way they, reacted to something. Um, Either they were sarcastic or like insensitive or something, and just kind of harping on that stuff. It's like things that have happened like years ago. It's not even like it was yesterday or last week. It's like, you know, somebody getting some kind of mood with me, like unwarranted. Um, Maybe what I might have said differently or done differently, or just some kind of scenario where something happened and, maybe I didn't do things the way I had wanted, or, didn't say what I wanted to say as clearly, or maybe thought that other people were like assuming something about me. Just weird stuff like that where it's like, I don't even know if it's like based in actual reality, if that makes sense. It's like just my mind like dredging up all this like stuff that's like, I was just like, what is the point of this? Like, it is not making my night any better. Um, and I thought about it because I was like, I want to try to sleep and use less melatonin because I want to see how my mornings kind of go with that. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to go to sleep early, if I have all this kind of negativity swimming around in my head. So, I kind of was a little bit like in two camps. Like part of me was like, it's Sunday. At a certain point it was like night. My day yesterday was weird. I didn't start it. I started it earlier than I wanted because my sister was catching her flight in the morning. So I think by 8 something I was awake. My mom had made a little breakfast, and then I kind of wanted to get up, but um, I didn't really wake up and kind of get going till I had to, but I felt like I didn't sleep that good. I want to say I slept after 1:30 a.m. or something when it was Saturday night slash early a.m. hours Sunday morning. Um, and then Sunday I was pretty tired. Uh, so I woke up too early. My mom is just chattering about all kinds of stuff. So that was already first. I don't like waking up and having to talk to people. And I kind of voiced that. I was like, I'm really not a conversationalist in the morning. Um, but I was like, I'll try to be a little social, but I don't really want to be. I just, I was just up to tell my sister goodbye, and like we kind of snacked on the breakfast stuff, and then she had to get her Uber to the airport, and I was kind of like okay with it, uh, with how I was feeling, but I was kind of like, I could tell I was like, when she leaves, I don't really want to be, you know, uh, too sociable. And I had stuff I wanted to work on, so from like 9:30 to 12:30, I got stuff done. Uh, about 12:30. I think I ordered groceries around 11:30, 11:40, something like that. Um, and I had a huge lunch. I had some tuna poke, some roasted chicken, on a sandwich. Not the poke on the sandwich, but um, the chicken on the sandwich and some on the side. Um, and I grilled up some mushrooms and some onions with a little bit of butter and put it on the sandwich with some Miracle Whip. And with the poke, I had some salad. So, we've got all these breads and buns and things that we're trying to get rid of. We already had hamburger buns. We already had hot dog buns. Then my mom went and got more hamburger buns and like 2 loaves of bread and like a thing of Hawaiian bread. And I don't eat that much bread. I might have one piece of toast for breakfast, maybe a sandwich with 2 pieces of bread for lunch, maybe, but it's not like one to one like that all the time. I'm trying to be careful on, breads and things like that. So I, you know, I I got up, you know, and did the work I needed to do, and I didn't eat that much breakfast. And so, I had coffee and didn't eat that much breakfast, but I was like, well, I'm up because of the coffee, so let me just go with the momentum till noon and then, you know, call it a day at noon, have a half day, because it's Sunday. And then, I watched that 4 hour Dances with Wolves, fell asleep somewhere in the middle. Um, so I took like maybe 5 hours watching that. Um, Next thing I know, it was like 5:30. Um, and so I got back to work on what I was doing, and then uh, I think I was busy till maybe 6:30 or so, close to 7. Ate a little bit at 7, and I think around 5:30 I did have a little bit of yerba mate. I was like, this is a bad idea, but I was like, I was so tired most of the day. I've been kind of dabbling with like these little double caffeine kicks, like definitely more in the morning, but maybe like a little bit in the afternoon, late afternoon, or early evening. Because my energy's been so like kind of low. And I thought, because I got a new coffee from Sprouts during the month of September when we ran out of the Don Francisco. And I was like, well, maybe the coffee just isn't strong enough, And there were days where I was drinking C4 as well. That hasn't changed. And I'm like, I've noticed too that the C4 doesn't have its kick. So I'm like, well, the C4 isn't strong enough. Things like that where I'm like, what the heck? Like it's strong enough that if I take it late, I'll stay awake. That's why I've been staying up so late. But then it's like, it's not strong enough to like kind of give me that energy to kind of just get me out to the gym and stuff. Like that's usually what I feel like is like, I'm like, man, I feel like I want to go like actually be active. That's usually why I have it. But yeah, like it's been hard to kind of like get to that level. During the month of September, I noticed that. That's the first time I probably noticed that. Um, and mind you, this C4, it's not brand new. I got it sometime during summer. I want to say maybe August, sometime in August, I got it. And it's not the C4 that I usually get with the black labeling, it's the one with the gray labeling. So I think it's like 145 milligrams of caffeine, and the other one's like 200 milligrams of caffeine. So it is a little bit less. Um, but I do notice when I have it with coffee, I do get those palpitations, and that was not a pleasant experience because that happened the other day. Um, and I try to be careful with it, but it's like sometimes I'm like, it's not gonna matter. My energy's so low, anyways. And so, like yesterday, I got past that whole situation at night. Like once I was done getting work done, I was like, let me just have something. something light. So I had what did I have? I think my mom made some, just that Campbell's mushroom soup. And I was like, this isn't really going to be sufficient food. First of all, it's like too much milk, too much salt. Um, and so I was like scavenging for leftovers. We had turkey burgers Saturday night, and so there was a leftover one, so I had a turkey burger, and then I had um, what else did I have? I had a turkey burger and some cauliflower, and I kind of drizzled some of the mushroom soup on top of both. Like those were leftovers; they're already pre-cooked. So I was like, let me just put that on it for some flavor. Um, and then I popped it in the microwave real quick, and that's what I kind of had. And while I was eating, I was still kind of like, okay, I want to go to the gym tonight. I started thinking that like around 6 something p.m. I was like, why don't I just go to the gym? And then I was kind of like in this debate with myself, like, that's late. Let me just stay home and just work out from home. But I was like, I am so bored at home. Like, I've been home all day and, you know, I wasn't getting anything from staying at home. I just was like, I've been here all day. I didn't do too much. I did spend a lot of time watching movies and, it's Sunday. Like, I'm like, I need a break. And, I took a nap and all this other stuff. But I was like, if I'm not going to work on my projects and things, then why the heck am I going to stay home? Like, what? Like, because at that point, I watched Dances with Wolves earlier. I started rewatching Pirates of Silicon Valley. Like, I couldn't think of anything to really watch. I was like, there's nothing I really feel like watching or doing. I don't really feel like being creative. There's nothing I really was feeling into. So I was like, why the heck would I stay here all night? And so I kind of got myself, I was like, just get dressed for the gym and get over to the gym. So I convinced myself and I was like, it's probably good parking. And I didn't notice way too much of a difference, but I was like, I do feel like 1 to 2 notches better, a little more positive, and my mind stopped doing that negativity thing. And so I was like, okay, like I'll take it, because I noticed, I was pretty tired. Like I got in a decent workout. Um, and it was kind of nice because I was like, well, I don't really need to be home at a certain time. Like I can't work out all night, but it's like I don't need to be home at a certain time because I'm not like trying to beat the clock for lunch. I'm not trying to beat the clock for traffic. Usually when I'm at the gym in the daytime, it's like, okay, I want to get home and have the protein with lunch, or I want to get home and continue working on what I was doing, or I want to get home and have dinner, or, you know, I want to get home because, traffic picks up at 3 or traffic picks up at 5, or, usually I'm dealing with like weird things like that, you know, when I'm at the gym. And this time there was no race the clock. It was like, I got nothing going on tonight. I got there. I think I started my workout around 8:20, 8:19, somewhere around there, PM. And I was like, I don't have anything that's a barrier for me right now. Um, as far as like rushing or anything like that. So I kind of just got up, did the things I needed to do at the gym, and then I came home. I was kind of hungry when I got home though. I was like, I feel like I need to kind of eat a little bit more because that dinner wasn't very filling. So I had some more poke and like some salad. It's like this Greek salad. And yeah, poke with some soy sauce. And I was like, yeah, this is a lot of protein. And some other stuff with it. I was like, I can't just eat tuna, like raw tuna. Just I need something with it. So I was like, I didn't want to make rice or anything like that because I was like, that's kind of heavy. So I'll just have like salad. So that was fine. Um, and surprisingly, by about 10:45 p.m., my energy started winding down. I was kind of feeling tired. I was surprised because I'd had caffeine around 5:30 p.m., a little bit of caffeine. I'd taken like about an hour nap midday. I did have coffee in the morning. So usually those types of things make it so I'm not going to get tired till quite a bit late. But I think that workout just kind of relaxed my mind and I was able to kind of start feeling sleepy. I kind of pushed a little past 11:30ish, but I could have probably fallen asleep honestly around 11 p.m. and I had about 2.5 milligrams of melatonin. Uh, and then I woke up at like 1:45 a.m. For some reason. I don't know. And it was kind of hard going to sleep because we had a bunch of cars honking. I feel like because there's a fast food place that's open late, maybe that's what it was. Like they were in line honking or something like that. And then, like, I felt like they were honking. I don't really know exactly what was going on. Um, I heard, some street racing, a bunch of loud motorcycles. So all this, I'm trying to sleep, and this keeps happening. So probably, I'm guessing closer to midnight. But I was already kind of dozing off around then, like a little before midnight, like probably around 11:45 or so. And then, um, yeah, like it was just loud. And then I heard all the trucks unloading stuff last night too. So it was kind of noisy, and then I had the heater on a little bit. So I got up at one point to turn that off. So there was a little bit of like adjusting last night, but otherwise, I was kind of able to sleep okay. Woke up at 1:45 a.m. for some reason unknown to me, and then I don't know how long I stayed up, but I did feel pretty wide awake, and I did go back to sleep, and I slept till 6, let's call it 6:50, 6:40 something a.m. And when I woke up, I kind of felt groggy, but I kind of needed the bathroom, and then I was like, I'll just get up. I thought I would sleep in this morning, but I was like, no, let me just get up. So that's kind of been my morning so far. Got up, bathroom, did some meditation, had some yerba mate. That was around 7:20 by that point. Had like half of a water bottle, then another half of like I finished the half of one water bottle and started a half of the other one. So I'm slightly hydrated. Um, but yeah, like um, I mean, I'm gonna need like a meal in me. I was watching a lot of videos with people cooking last night. Um, this one guy from Outdoor Boys, he cooks. He does some cooking outside, and then there was some other video I'd watched earlier about like a Japanese guy who was cooking, and then something else I came across some young sumo training guys and some of the stuff they were cooking at the place where they live and train. Um, and I was like, I did end up buying salmon yesterday. I actually wanted to get lox, but they didn't have it. Um, so the person who was doing delivery, they substituted for a big slab of salmon. And so I just had the salmon, and um I haven't eaten it yet, but I was thinking, I don't have miso soup, but I was thinking for breakfast I'll have an egg and salmon, and I mean I think we have rice, but if not rice, maybe I don't know if oats would work well, but I kind of have like a Japanese inspired breakfast. But like I mentioned, like we don't have um um yeah, we don't have um miso soup. I don't know where my kimchi went. I know it's not Japanese, but I don't know where my kimchi went. I can't remember if I ate it all or maybe it's just like back deep in the fridge somewhere. I don't really know. Uh, 'Cause that would be nice with some rice and then cook up the salmon. I'm not the biggest fan of salmon being cooked, but I mean, I don't know. I think I'd rather eat it cooked, just for it to be warm, if that makes sense. But yeah, I've got a lot of work to get done today. Um, and there's a lot of stuff I want to do today, and then there's some stuff coming up that I don't want to do. So we'll see how things go with all that. But it's kind of it for now. Uh, with that, thanks for listening.